So let's dive into science fair. In this video, you are going to realize everything that you need to know when choosing a good science fair project and some good things to keep in mind as you are working. The most important thing to remember from science fair is that this is your opportunity to be in charge of your learning. You pick the topic and you decide how you're going to learn about it. The result or the outcome of all of this is that you're going to be presenting this information to me, your classmates, other teachers, and judges. And if you do a really, really good job, the winner is going to receive a prize. But how many times did I say so far the word you? You are in charge. Okay? So take control of yourself and take each step, one step at a time, to find the awesome success that you will feel by completing this project. Your science fair project should be, number one, most important, it needs to be interesting to you. If it is not, then you are going to have a very long time during the science fair project. However, it is really, really important to keep in mind these next 3 points, because you want to make sure that your project can be designed around a question that can be investigated in a way that data can be collected. And really, is it going to be boring if you already know the answer to the question? So make sure that you don't. Make sure that you're exploring a topic that's interesting to you, but yet you're not quite sure what the answer should be. Also, and this one often comes to bite people in the long run if they don't consider it, the materials for your science fair project needs to be easy to access. So you want to make sure that you can get all the materials that you need to complete your experiment within a couple of days. And at low cost. Your science fair project doesn't have to be super pricey. Actually, some of the best ones were used just by things that the students already had. Now, I say this every year, but you get so much more out of your science fair if you actually choose to work on your own. And so these are my top reasons why you should work on your own for science fair. Number one, only you can control yourself. You do not know exactly what your partner might do, even if they might be a really good friend or you might support them a lot. You can only control yourself. What if something happens to them? What if they get sick and they are gone for a week and a half of this project? That's not really fair to you, even if it is something that they cannot control. So keep that in mind. For some of you middle schoolers who have your eye on the prize, you don't have to split the prize money if you win. Number 3, if your partner does let you down, you will not be stuck redoing things that you thought your partner was going to do. And lastly, even if you do choose to work alone, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are alone in this process. There are going to be people in this room, myself, other classmates, that are going to be giving feedback to help everyone to bring their project up to a higher level. Now, you may have known from the first day of 8th grade, yep, I am going to do a science fair project and I'm going to do it with this person. Well, there is a little hitch in the plan if you think that's the easiest way out. It is often easier to work and collaborate with someone. However, if you choose to actually have a science fair partner, each of you are going to be responsible for exploring different aspects of this project. So if your topic is, let's say, baseball, then you would need to explore 2 different ideas with baseball, and you can each support each other in this process. But you will each have 1 procedure that you're responsible for and 1 set of data that you're responsible for. So since you're working with someone, then your overall project is going to have 2 procedures and 2 sets of data. However, all of those things are going to come together to write 1 conclusion, so that this project is going to give a very deep look and understanding at the topic of your science fair project. It is really important, I've said this once already, but it is really important that you choose a topic and a question that you are interested in. And overall, originality is the key. If you get an idea from something that you see online, you need to twist it and tweak it and make it your own. Because originality is the key when it comes to your science fair project. And all of this is going to start with your initial proposal. This is what your initial experiment proposal form looks like. It's all about having and showing 2 different areas that you are interested in doing your science fair experiment on. You are going to go through, and I do want you to think of 2 separate areas that you would like to learn about, because one might be much more feasible than the other. I'm going to review each of these experiment proposal forms, and I'm going to be circling one side that you have filled out that I think would make the best science fair project. So what am I looking for in this? I am looking for you to include some very specifics about why you are interested in it. I am also looking for you to include specifics about what you think the independent and dependent variables can be in this experiment, specifically how you are going to measure it. When you're thinking about how you are measuring it, here's a hint to you. You're actually going to be talking about the dependent variable. Now, the last part down here is the resources that you are going to tell me that you have found. When I say resources, what I'm talking about is how many different websites, how many different YouTube videos, how many different books that you have found about this topic. Now, I'm just going to give you a heads up, and Wikipedia is not going to count as a resource for this. Wikipedia can lead us to actual sources. It is not going to be a resource or reference that we are going to use for this project. This top part here is required for both of these. This bottom part section is optional, and that is, you're just telling me if there's any materials that you think that might be difficult that I might be able to help you find, and any concerns that you have about either of these topics. You will need to sign down here and date and then hand that in. And that will show me that you have completed your initial experiment proposal form for me to review. And this is the first step in our science fair project. Now, when you're thinking about these questions, these ideas that you are interested in exploring, you're going to take them and interpret them and put them into a question. And when you think about you're also going to think about this as you're completing your initial proposal form, because you need to ask yourself, is this realistic? Is this something that you can actually do? And again, does it interest me? Okay. And also, and just to repeat here, can you investigate this topic by experimenting and collecting data? That is the key when we are doing a science fair project. So once you have submitted your initial proposal form, you are going to begin to work on a research proposal. Now, your research proposal is going to explain your purpose, the variables, your hypothesis, and your procedure. That is a big chunk of getting started with your project. Your procedure especially is going to be really, really important, and we're actually going to watch a video about that as well. But before you can do anything with your project, you need to make sure that you hypothesize or take an educated guess as to why you think this will be the outcome of your study. As we are moving through this part of the process, which is really, really key, because some of the things that, as an expert, that you're going to be expected to know is you're going to be expected to know the science behind your project and be able to come up with vocabulary that links to your project to help you explain and connect back in your conclusion. So you're really going to want to make sure that you're using expert websites. You could even try to find a book that helps to back up this information. I had in my second year a group that interviewed experts and used the interview as part of their resources. You're going to show and collect all of this through your EasyBib, or sometimes it's called a Works Cited as well. Your bibliography. That's the important part, to show where you got your information from. We will be walking through all of this together in class. The last part of our project is the home stretch. You're going to be conducting your experiment, you'll be analyzing your results, And when we analyze our results, we're actually going to have a video that goes along with that as well as a video to go along to help you write up your explanation and conclusion. This here is the heart of your science fair project. This shows what you learned in your science fair project, so it's really important that this is good. And the last part is just putting the finishing touches and making it all look pretty, because you want to make sure that even if you did the most amazing project, that you can sell it. Part of this is salesmanship, and you want to make sure that your project looks good and that your presentation is smooth and well rehearsed. Here are my last tips to help you get prepared. Most importantly, I have every day planned out in this project, and if you follow this schedule and use your class time wisely, you are going to feel very confident and very well prepared when it comes to the in-class fair day. It's really important, however, to check and recheck to make sure that you have reached all of the goals and parts of this project. It is a really big part of your grade, and it's a really big overall project that you put a face to. This is representing you and the work and the interests that you have. Lastly, don't disturb others when they're trying to get their work done as well. We are going to be all moving in lots of different directions during this project, and it's important to help everyone stay on task that you need to be responsible for yourself and be respectful of others as they're working. There are only 3 videos that are due in this unit, so make sure that you have them watched on time because they will help you to move forward and create your projects. I wish you guys the best of luck, and this is going to be a great endeavor that we are going to have together, and I know that I will see you grow so much during the course of this science fair. Remember that at any point, if you have any questions, what should you do? The most important thing not to do is don't be silent. Speak up for yourself, and if you have questions, come and talk to me about it. Okay, I'm here for you. I have an open door before school from 7:30 until 8:25. We can talk during study hall times, or you can arrange a different time to meet with me. So if you have any questions, the most important thing to remember is to ask. You're not alone in this process. Just make sure that you speak up and you show exactly where you're coming from. Good luck, and let's start creating and asking questions. I can't wait to see what you'll create.